So in our previous LEGO City shenanigans, we stole a blimmin' crane. So of course the next logical thing to do with this piece of construction equipment is to yoink a telescope. You know, I'm noticing a bit of a space theme going on here. So after clearing the way for this truck, though I don't see why the crane couldn't just, you know, go around it, I beat up some more chaps, one of which happened to conveniently have a key on them. And due to this, I broke into this observatory, short-circuited its roof to reveal the telescope, and then boom! We now have provided Rex Fury a blimmin' telescope! So we delivered it to the meeting point where I was able to listen in onto the conversations that Rex Fury was having with this brilliantly well-dressed man. Think about it. Who else in LEGO City dresses this dashingly? Oh, also, my cover was blown. As these chaps found out, I was the imposter! Among Us. How was my cover blown? Well, because the lad we stuffed into an ice cream chamber last episode ended up getting out and then ended up snitching on me. So I showed him and his mates what happens to snitches, am I right? And to cover up the fact that my disguise was blown, I made a grand escape by taking a swan dive over this research center and dodging blimmin' lasers on the way down, you what? So when I made it to the bottom, I recreated the Titanic. Why in my task? That I could use this submarine's one singular rocket to smash this blimmin' door open. I mean, sure, seems a bit extreme to me, but hey, it worked! And then these lads came out to attack me. Not just Rex's chaps, but also these astronaut guys. Space theme is becoming ever more prominent, but of course I wasn't going to let the space lads one-up me with their flying machines, so I learned to fly myself! I now personally owned a blimmin' jetpack, and after taking out my vengeance on these chaps up here, yeah, look who's not so special now! I ended up discovering an infinite money exploit! These little activities here are called super jetpacks, which creates these round bubble things similar to that chicken glide we have. However, each ring, while not only boosting the fuel in your jetpack because unfortunately it isn't infinite, but also gives you studs. But there is no limit to how often you can use this ability, which means, in theory, this is an infinite stud exploit. I mean, I guess just resetting the game gives you infinite studs, but like, this is an easy and convenient method, you know? So after utilizing that exploit for it, and after flying over to this door, I ended up using the power of space magic to squeeze in some explosives. And then, after running a bit too far away from the explosion, I blew up these doors, and it was here that I found Natalia's father! After all the absolute attitude she's given me, why would I want to save him? Well, for the simple reason of just because she's a dickhead doesn't mean that her father is. Oh, also, you know how I've been talking about Forrest Blackwell on the previous episodes? Yeah, well, apparently he's the real villain of this story. Yes, I knew that the entire time. Congratulations! And Rex Fury was just a henchman. And why did he turn evil? All because of that fishing squirrel, meaning that he couldn't build some fancy building place thing. Yes, that's right. The reason Natalia was taken, her father was taken, the reason Rex Fury was busted out of jail, the entire reason Chase McCain was brought back to LEGO City was because that fishing squirrel made it so he couldn't build his fancy estate. Somehow this squirrel is the most integral plot point of the game. So I figured that because of the absurdity of the situation, I could forgive Natalia for whatever rubbish she put me through, at least for now, in order to do the morally correct thing and save her and her father. And part of doing so was by activating these energy core things and reconstructing them into these large energy pillars, which, when all activated, brings out a blimmin' UFO! This 100% wasn't the way I was supposed to get up there, but I used the UFO combined with my jetpack to get my way up to Natalia's father.
Chase McCain! Last time I saw you, you were completely ruining my daughter's life.
Thank you.
Oh, was I? Great! Because she's been consistently screwing up mine! So despite my snarky side comments about his children, the professor took us out of Blackwell's secret base on his UFO. I called the police department going, "Oi lads, Blackwell's a bit of an arse!" But they were too busy freaking out about Blackwell's special announcement that was going to happen that afternoon. So of course, they didn't believe me because the police force was probably funded by him in the first place. And they started telling me sensible things like go to his mansion to collect evidence. So you know what? I did! And I made a point to destroy everything I could around his mansion too! Just to send a message, really. I took out his Matrix henchman, short-circuited the door to his headquarters, which, may I add, why would a supervillain billionaire hide his stuff behind a simple plain door? And look at that. Remember that emerald we stole over a year ago? It's up here. Might as well take it back while I'm here. And after smashing everything in that room too, I destroyed all of his books, revealing these not so hidden switches. I mean, I'm sure they'd be well hidden if the books were still there. And after that, I ended up making his house no longer on lockdown, and was that guy hiding in the safe? So after that, his worst secret was revealed, that he is the dad from the Lego movie. Oh wait, no, that's actually just his super evil plan to go to space. Space doesn't seem that evil to me. Well, maybe it is a little bit sketchy when the rocket is full of convicts and kidnapped ladies, and also a bit dodgy when that rocket is slap bang in the middle of Lego City and runs the risk of cooking all of the funky plastic men residing in the nearby area. And about that announcement by Blackwell Tower, yeah, well, Blackwell Tower literally is the blimmin' space rocket! So I hopped onto my jetpack, except it transformed into a tad bit of an oversized one, and I yoinked some of the professor's equipment to use some funky magic bubble to make sure that everyone in the city doesn't literally fry, and with Frank, who's probably the worst person to be driving delicate equipment around, we rushed to Blackwell Tower, as if we didn't make it by the end of the 3 minutes, it would be the end of Lego City. But by driving as recklessly as I physically could, we still had a fighting chance. I hand-built the magic bubble sensor things, and then simply hoped that I built it correctly. It was a last attempt to save Lego City from this, I must say very sudden, space rocket. And we didn't have much time to prepare, as the rocket was going up in about 3 seconds. It worked! So after saving the police chief's life, he of course finally confessed that he should have been subscribed a long time ago, which I'm noticing would probably be the case for you as well. And he mentioned how he was a blithering idiot for taking the credit of my Rex Fury arrest, and how he should have advertised my channel on Twitter. But there were more pressing matters, as while the criminals had been propelled into space away from Lego City, which would surely be a good thing, Natalia was on board that rocket ship as well. Probably along with also some, like, other kidnapped women, but, like, I don't know, I highly doubt Natalia was the only one, but she's the only one important to the plot, so, like, so this means that I killed 2 birds with 1 stone, right? No more criminals, no more Natalia. Okay, fine. I said I'd follow my moral compass and go after her, which means that I was now off to blinking space! And once I've rescued Natalia, I might as well arrest the chaps I find up there too, I guess. Well, I mean, you know, if they're not in Lego City and they're busy sodding off in space, I don't really see the issue. So I hopped onto the spacecraft and braced myself for the final stand against Rex Fury, Forrest Blackwell, and to finally tie any knots left with Natalia. Yes, that's right, the next episode will be the last episode of our 1.5-year journey through Lego City. It's one you won't want to miss. Have a good one, chaps.